Cancers, hello, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Cancers, we got the box and the mirror, the threshold and the thread. Well, I just feel like from being stuck to being released. Because, I mean, the box and the mirror, fractured ideas, fractured images, people want to tell you what you're capable of according to their fractured ideas of you. And, and this person has that idea, and that person has this idea, and this person has that idea. And you can try and address the ideas, but all of their ideas are going to be different. They're all going to be somehow more confining. And it's just kind of like, I don't know, I just feel like this, stop with all the fractured ideas and images for the love. The threshold and the thread. And I feel like you're crossing over, right? You're making it through to the other side. You're being pulled in the directions that you need to be pulled in. I just kind of feel like, well, part of it for us, cancers, has been like, we're very, like, it's our tendency to, like, if somebody comes at us the wrong way, crab up, scuttle off. you know? And I feel like we've had people who've come at us the wrong way, and we've been trying to, like, instead of crabbing up and scuttling off, we're like, okay, I'm gonna trust. I'm going to trust in this space. I'm going to trust with these people. I'm going to trust in this, whatever, or, I'm going to trust in myself because I know, you know what I mean? Instead of trusting in other people, I'm going to trust in me, you know? And what it means to trust in me is that I trust that I will surround myself with people who are trustworthy, right? Because trust has been a really big thing because we've just had people steady just throwing shit at us, right? And we're like, okay, well, y'all stay outside of my shell. I will stay inside of my shell and this will be fine until it wasn't fine anymore because you have outgrown your shell. But I feel like in order to, like, step outside of it, you had to, like, break open, right? Like that crustacean, right? Like, you had to break this open. But not only am I breaking open this shell, I feel like you're breaking open this, like, massive pile of crusted up dirt that people threw all over you. You know what I mean? And when you do that, like, you break free. And I feel like there's something there that's pulling you to that other side. Other side of what? I guess I would say the other side of, well, if you feel fractured out, if you feel boxed in, if you feel like people aren't really, well, I guess, like, people don't take the time to really understand what it is that they're judging, And I feel like anybody who's experienced any kind of, like, trauma in their lives, or they've had to overcome any kind of hurdles, 9 times out of 10, you do hear people say, I just wish that they would have taken the time to like understand what was going on, to understand, like the reality. Because what happens is that people misunderstand things and then they attack you accordingly, and that boxes you in until it boxes them in. You know what I mean? Like, let's understand the concept of karma. Let's sit on that one for a while. And let's also understand the concept of judgment, because it's one thing to assess a situation and understand it for what it is, and the many, like how things come into existence and why they exist in that way. It's another thing to pick something out, like pick something against someone that's convenient for you to dislike about them, and create an entire persona around that one point of contention that you have, right? And it's important that we stop and have those conversations. And yeah, you're going to have conversations with some people where you're like that person is legit a liar, and everything that comes out of their mouth, they do the opposite. Or they promise one thing and they do another. Or, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to be people who do that. And when those people do that and you practice that discernment, that really upsets those people, right? But when you do it, and you do it with people who are also people of discernment, people who are consciousness, people who don't want to, like, walk around and say, I'm this, but like their actions don't match their words. You know what I mean? Like, and if you've been steady working in the corner of your shell, your actions have been, you're like, I'm speaking things over me that I am busting my ass to do. And I feel like it's honored, it's recognized. the Seven of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords. It's hot. I went and saw the horses today. So much fun. I'm going to start trying to practice Reiki on them, which is cool, just because like I need to practice, and animals are so responsive to it. I did it on my friend's dog. I don't know, it was when I was in Denver still, but he has a big Doberman, and I didn't even touch him, but he thought I was going to touch his paws, but I was just reaching to like grab something that was next to him, and he growled at me, and it was like a kind of a scary moment. So I was like, I did some Reiki on him, and then he was so chill, and then he like literally never left my side. Like even if I would fall asleep and everybody else would be outside, like he would be in the bed with me, you know? Love animals. Okay, sorry. Fun side story. Okay, Leos. The Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, Judgment, the World, the Wheel of Fortune, the Ten of Swords. Okay, sorry, we have a lot of cards. Okay, I'm just set this down for now. The box, the mirror, the sadness, the one thing after another thing after another thing. Like there is nothing more irritating in this world to me than like if I'll say it about you behind your back, I'll say it to you to your face. If you want to show your face, you know what I mean. I might not come right at you with it, but I'll come at you with it if you bring it up. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of like, because I just feel like there are so many instances of people who just thought, well, because cancers are nice. Like we're nice people. We're considerate people, right? And if you see that people are struggling with an energy, then you hope that they'll work through that energy, not blame you for their energy. You know what I mean? But I just kind of feel like there's been a point where you've just felt like none of this is healthy. None of these people are healthy. None of these people have a concept of growth. They hate themselves, so they can't do anything but hate everyone else around them. You know what I mean? Like, ugh, not people that you want to be around. But when you realize this, you're able to practice discernment, have an understanding about why you kept finding yourself surrounded in energies that weren't energies that you wanted to be a part of, and how you can bring them to an end so that you can stop focusing your attention and energy on people who aren't worth it, and start practicing your energy and your attention on developing the magic that is within you. Because no matter what your magic is, no matter what your calling is, no matter what your purpose is, like if you're focusing your attention elsewhere, then you're not going to be able to achieve what it is that you're seeking to achieve, and no, we don't get anywhere overnight. And I don't think that cancers are the types of people who expect to just be handed things. I think the point is that we have been working, that we've been working in spite of the, in spite of the people who've been brought into our energies in our lives, who have torn us down, because we were working, we also had energies and people in our lives who protected us from those people, who reminded us of, the positive qualities that we had, who held our hands when we, graveled all out our energetic lines. You know what I mean? Like, because we've been working, we've been shifting our energy. And so, it shows. It shows. It shows in your eyes. It shows in your skin. It shows in your life. You know what I mean? It shows in the way that you move. Like it shows. You can tell people who've lived rough lives, who have allowed for their lives to get the better of them. It shows. You know what I mean? It hardens them. And cancers, people I think have said to us, you're hard, but I feel like to us, we're like, well, my shell is, but I'm not, you know what I mean? And so, I don't know, I feel like since you outgrew that hardness, you're able to like step into your softness, right? Like your soft girl era. Sorry guys, I know my Cancer men, y'all get so frustrated with me. I love y'all. But like, and it doesn't have to be your soft girl era, right? Like it could be your, I don't know, I get all these like reels and things that I see all of the time, but it was like it was a poetry thing though. And it was like an open mic poetry, but this man gets up to the mic and he says, like, why is it that, we can go half court and you won't even go half court? Like, we're out here practicing emotional intelligence. And the woman stands up and she goes, like, emotional intelligence isn't being an angry person and then saying, I struggle with anger. Being emotionally intelligent is saying, I'm an angry person and I'm not only going to regulate my emotions on behalf of myself, but I'm also going to regulate them on behalf of the people that I love. And then they show up not as somebody who just spouts off that they're angry and throws a fit and then says, oh, it's just because I'm angry. Like, that's not emotional intelligence. And I feel like for my Cancer men out there, if you're not in your soft girl era, you're in your emotionally intelligent masculinity, because there aren't very many out there, just in general, who not only can acknowledge their behavior but can do something to overcome it and provide safe spaces for the people in their lives. So that's for my Cancer men. I love you guys. Because you are very, very conscious of the people around you. You do honor the fact that while you might feel some type of way about something, you like, there are other people involved in that experience and that energy, and they might feel some type of way about it, right? But anyways, so we've got the King of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Cups. Well, again, I just feel like Cancers, when you've been in your shell and you've been working because you've been waiting for that opportunity, waiting for that call, waiting for that moment when you knew this aligns with me. I'm not sitting around waiting for things to align with me anymore. I know what aligns with me. I know what aligns with the work that I've done. I know what aligns with the passions that I have. And I'm taking these new opportunities. And Cancers, the Ace of Pentacles is kind of the idea of like a small new beginning. But the thing is that I feel like sometimes the smallest of beginnings can have like the biggest changes in our lives. And I feel like whatever this new beginning is for you, I feel like you step over and you step and you're like, baby step over. And then all of a sudden everything aligns. You know what I mean? Because it does. It has a very like all of a sudden everything everywhere, and all the different things. And I love that for us because sometimes you want to do the work behind closed doors. Sometimes you want to do the work in a way that, like, if people are going to attack me no matter what, then I'm going to, like, let them attack themselves. Like, oh, my disco ball shell, like beaming light at them left and right. But, we're out of it. We're out of it. Well, I just see like a little disco ball crab shell hanging from a rearview mirror. A little momentum. Yeah, because there's been a decision that you've had to make to really part ways with some people, so that you could really, I just feel like, start honoring yourself. Because if you're surrounded with people who you feel like they constantly just want to make you feel like, well, one, you're incompetent. I swear to God, like there are people in my life who they're like, to say that I've been doing work or that I've been doing anything would just kill them. So they have to say that I was being helped by somebody else, and you're just like, and you don't want to disagree with it, because obviously there are people who I have had come into my life, even just recently, who I'm like, thank God for this person, like, oh, just like helping me to overcome these hurdles, helping me to pull out any of these blockages, helping me to like maintain my sanity when I feel like I just want to scream. You know what I mean? Like, so thankful for those people, but I just kind of feel like those people are the direction that you need to go, not the people who want you to just like, who want to constantly hand you over to other people. because I don't know. And I don't know because I think for me, in a lot of ways, like I grew up with two parents who were in academics, you know, and so they they weren't partiers. Like alcohol, no, both my parents are straight edge as fuck. You know what I mean? Like it's like education and books. I mean, like it makes me laugh when people are like, "Look at my bookshelf." I'm like, my entire house, the hallways, the rooms, like from floor to ceiling. Growing up, our home was a library. You know what I mean? Like your bookshelf's not really. I mean, like cool, but like it's not a flex. You know, like but I just, you know, but so I was taught that you should always want to be around people who know things that you don't know. You should always want to be learning and you should always be learning more. And, you know, like, and that's a positive thing. And it was never one of those things where you're like, the less you do, the more acceptable you are. It's like the more you do, the more acceptable you are. And everyone does a shit ton, you know, like sometimes I feel like I tell people things that I've done and they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, but really and truly, next to like the majority of the people that I know, I've done like this much. You know what I mean? Like, I really haven't accomplished all that. I've just done a ton of different shit. So I have a lot of different areas in my life where I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You know what I mean? But that doesn't make me intimidating. You know, that just makes me somebody who honors experience, who honors understanding, who honors education. You know, but I think that I have had in my life people who instead of being like, oh yeah, they're like, oh, you think you're this or you think you're that, and it's like, what? You know, like, how is my sharing my life experience me being anything other than just somebody who's like engaging? You know, so you part ways with those people because I feel like Cancer is what you're loyal to is this sense of growth, this sense of development, this work that you've been doing, you know, protecting it from all the people who are just not. But, you know, like as you should. Good job, you know? And yeah, I think it hurt. I think it made you sad. I think it made you also feel like you were missing out and you were just sitting around waiting, you know? And I say sitting around waiting like you're not doing anything, but you were doing a lot. And part of what you were doing is assessing all the reasons why you needed to go in a different direction. And so that's what you're doing, Leah, or Cancers. Sorry. And I love it. If it does resonate with you, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and sharing your energy with me. If this video did resonate, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe if I didn't already say that. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.